and I'm here with Todd Gressley from Art on 5th. Todd, we're super excited about having the artwork of Dr. Seuss at Art for the People. So just wanted to come here, talk to you about Art on 5th's experience with the work and just more if you have any details or stories about the artwork.
We've got lots of details about the artwork. We have a story for every single piece. It's an exciting collection. It's the largest, if not one of the largest, you'll find in the world. The founder of Art on 5th had the foresight to invest in pieces back in the 90s after Ted Geisel, who was Dr. Seuss, passed away. So many pieces you won't find anywhere else in the world we have right here at Art on 5th, including pieces that not even the San Diego History Museum has. They have a giant Seuss collection right now, and they even have just some black and white photos of some of the images that we have the pieces of. So let's walk around and take a look at them. Want to?
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look forward to it. Okay, so this is one of my all-time favorite ones. This is called My Petunia Can Lick Your Geranium. When Dr. Seuss was living in La Jolla, most of the guys would go to work, like, you know, think Mad Men, they go to work, the secretary, the wife's at home. Ted was working from home, which was a rarity at the time. And so imagine in the 50s, he's seeing for the first time the social arrangements of the ladies in the neighborhood during the week. And so this is his take on moving to California and seeing what's happening there, called My Petunia Can Lick Your Geranium, one of my favorites of the entire collection. And it's very rare, it's completely sold out in most places. So these are some very early works by Dr. Seuss, 20s and 30s, the Deco period, if you will. And you can see a lot of pre-Seussian books in the work here, but let's just go through each one for a moment. This one is a stag and Eve, and I remember as a kid even emulating my drawings to do what Dr. Seuss was doing with the O's and the architecture, etc. It's just a great example of the early work and what's to become in the children's books we all grew up with and love. And so if you come over here and then you see the elephant presenting a flower, this piece is one of the, as people call it, the holy grail of the collections because it's been sold out for a very long time. But this isn't Horton. It's just an elephant. Horton hadn't been invented yet or created yet, but in time Horton will of course appear for all of us. So you can see some pre-Seussian children's books moments here in this work. Two more Deco period pieces here. The Tower of Babel, another favorite of mine, has a lot to do with his political commentary. A lot of people don't know that during World War II, all that Dr. Seuss did, or Ted Geisel did, were political cartoons. This is sort of his own private commentary. Basically, the money trickles down, but we'll let you see it in person to find out the rest of the story for yourself. And then last but not least, another decorative piece that I'm quite fond of. Again, it's the kind of stuff I, as a child, tried to create my art after. This one being just a nice landscape piece for the house. And again, another one of his cute characters that one day will become something somewhere in the Seussian world. So the Taxidermy Collection by Dr. Seuss is very interesting. A lot of folks don't really understand. They think maybe they've taken a character out of a book and just made these cool taxidermy pieces for the wall, but that's not so. Dr. Seuss made these by hand long ago. The originals were done with plaster and glass eyes and animal parts. Just because of his close connection with a zoo out east, he often got parts of animals that had passed, including caribou antlers here on the dilemma fish. And an interesting point about each one is they all have their own story, and I'll give you two quick ones. The dilemma fish, the original had been missing for many, many years. They don't know where Dr. Seuss's dilemma fish ended up. We know now, but that's a story for another time. So they had a black and white photo of the dilemma fish and knew they were going to release each one of the taxidermy collections over time. So the first dilemma fish came out, and then there were 20 sold eventually. And the dilemma fish were made into a rust color, almost this guy's color, but a little different. Because most of his sea creatures were a rust color. It's like trying to guess the color of a dinosaur, or guessing what color they are because we've never seen one alive. So one day, the original appears. It comes to the estate, and the estate says, oh, that's the real dilemma fish, which I just saw in San Diego last weekend. So they had to stop the presses and make the dilemma fish this color, which was the blue color that Dr. Seuss intended. So that's an interesting story about some taxidermy trying to recreate what he actually did. A great story about the blue-green Abelard, which you will not see in the History Museum because they don't have one, but here at Art on Fifth we do, and Art for the People has one up on the wall as well. The Abelard's eyes are closed for a very important reason, because when we all go to sleep, that's when he wakes up. So a lot of folks ask what the tags mean when they read that the piece has been adapted posthumously. And basically the secret art of Dr. Seuss and the illustration art has been adapted from his original works. This was a sketch from 1967 for the Cat in the Hat songbook. But the original piece, which I got to see at the archives in San Diego, is about this big compared to the collector's piece that was created by the Seuss estate. That's the adapted posthumously. You know, it was important that Audrey, Ted Geisel's wife, Dr. Seuss's wife, she wanted people to see the workmanship and craftsmanship and in the strokes and the lines that he did when he hand painted and hand created each of these. They're done with expertise on deckled paper, and of course they're printed one color at a time with serography. Many pieces like this also come with a collector's book, which the number limited edition of the piece matches the book as well. So ask anyone from Art for the People or Art on Fifth how to acquire work like this or anything else you saw or will see at the show, and we look forward to seeing you there. Bye.